Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Everyone, welcome back to this course on ESD. So, in the last class we were discussing about the different agreements, Paris agreements and other agreements regarding the climate change and clean energy. So, to continue with this, we will just discuss about what are the India's action plans. What is the India's action plan? Okay, India's action plan, as you can see from this website also. So, India's action plan primarily focuses on how to, that means different schemes like national solar scheme, solar mission, mission for enhancing the energy efficiency, national mission for sustainable habitat, water mission, Jal Shakti, okay, Ministry of Jal Shakti, then national mission for sustaining the Himalayan ecosystem, mission for green India, sustainable agriculture, strategic knowledge for climate change. These are the national schemes. The government has launched the national action plan on climate change on 30th June, and the outlying national missions have been included in this national scheme. So, now the main goals of this national scheme, national action plan on the climate change, are primarily the inclusive sustainable development of energy, achievement of the qualitative changes to promote national growth, economic growth, etc. Then how to carefully adopt the careful mitigation of greenhouse gas emissions, regulatory mechanisms to promote the sustainable development, and invite international cooperation for R&D for the data transfer and sharing. So, these are some of the goals, strategic goals of National Action Plan on Climate Change. So, now as such, that means in order to achieve all others SDGs, these are also required, like for example, health is, as we have already discussed, health is related to ecosystem, environment, life on earth, then sustainable health and well-being, and climate change, life on land, all these things. So, energy is related to all other SDGs also. So, how to develop you can say integrated action plan, so which can help us in achieving the sustainable development goals, all the 17 goals. Of course, here at the end you can say the global partnership, definitely the global partnership, that is SDG 17 is of very much importance in achieving all other SDGs. So, ESD as a tool and global partnership as a framework, as a network that will help us, enable us in achieving all the other SDGs, and exclusively also these energy resources, clean, affordable and clean energy. So, the suggestion is that the robust plan that are flexible in order to accommodate the drastic changes in the environment across the country, and with the constant revision of climate change policies, with the upgradation of technology, everything has to be taken care of, and that has been mentioned in this action plan with its regulatory acts, regulatory committee. Now, so India's year of extremes and the current state, what India has experienced since these years, like severe years, COVID-19 has severely affected, and it has reduced the resilience of climate change vulnerable population already at risk, because majority of the people are at risk in the sense that displacement by floods, regular floods, droughts, tsunamis, storm, all kinds of things. So, that is also and because of other climatic disaster also 77% of more rainfall has recorded in 381 districts because of the climate change. The 77% of the more rainfall has been recorded, and moreover due to pandemic also. So, that means the displacement of people has taken place also across the country. So, that has also created a kind of disturbance, disruption in the economic aspects, in the activities, economic activities and the normal life of the people. So, similarly, these temperatures are also lower by 4.4 to 7 degrees in some parts of the Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Jharkhand. So, India's current climate action tracker rating is highly insufficient, indicating that India's climate policies are non-consistent with the Paris Agreement. That means, it is not complying the Paris agreements. So, that is why it is not sufficient, it is highly insufficient. So, 1.5 degree temperature limit under the current targets and the policies. The emissions will also continue to rise and consistent with the 4 degrees centigrade of more of warming. So, gradually because of the climate change, the temperature, global temperature and our country's temperature is also gradually increasing. That has also created another problem, and pandemic has also created the problems in the social sector, like disruptions of the normal lifestyle of the people, displacement, disruptions in the economic activity, that has also created further problem. Hence, to meet the Paris agreement, the climate policies of the Paris agreement, to act in consistency with the Paris agreement has become very difficult for India nowadays. So, similarly, after the pandemic, Indian government also unveiled one of the largest stimulus package. Besides the relief packages, the other packages, that means other relief packages in terms of that around 11% of the country's GDP is 2019 mainly supports activities related to industries, also likely to have large negative impact on the environment by, for example, increasing the use of fossil oil and unsustainable land use. So, and this pandemic also, as because the Indian government has given the different schemes, stimulus package and the relief funds for this, for upgrading the living status of the people because of the sudden disruptions in the economic activity and joblessness and sudden shutdown. So, that has also has given the extra burden to the Indian government. That is one aspect. And the most recent stimulus, that is the more climate friendly with 2/3 of the resources targeted towards the green recovery, including the including roughly $3 billion in battery development and solar power. So, India government has hugely invested in the solar power sector, energy sector, and then $3 billion USD battery development for the automobile sector, and the green recovery in the within the country, in the both in the rural and urban areas, that are in the country, within the country. So, these are the major 3 stimulus packages. The recent you can say endeavors, recent effort, recent schemes, that is to bring the that means to bring to meet the climate change challenges and to be in agreement with the Paris documents, Paris agreements. So, but however, emission will also rise by 2030 due to the coal expansion plan. Even in spite of investing in the solar panel, solar energy system, India is still using this coal, thermal power from the coal, and recently they have got the coal expansion plans. So, that means from that expansion plan can also incur some carbon emissions in the by 2030. So, that is also a disadvantage also, because India's coal capacity would increase from current level over of 200 gigawatt to almost 260 by 2930, with the 35 gigawatt expected to come online in the next 5 years. So, therefore, an increase of the 70.5% in the coal capacity, that will also create the carbon emission by 2930. So, that is also an added disadvantage, we can say that is an added disadvantage. So, again through these schemes also, then through these things again we have to manage it, because this is another, the pollution will be created, carbon emission will be created from the coal sector, power energy, thermal sector from produced by the coal. So, that will also increase the, not only increase the pollution, but also temperature, overall temperature. So, that is a disadvantage, setback, that we have to also address it in the next 5 to 10 years. So, this is the projects of the climate change program division, the existing projects. these are the different projects and total amount allocated and duration of the years, like this climate change impact on adaptation of climate resilient Northeast India Assam project, Himalayan Uttarakhand Himalayan region disaster prone districts also, that project, that is climate change to and the geodiversity to handle it in the Uttarakhand and Himalayan region, establishing and strengthening state climate change cell in the Sikkim, then and strengthening the state climate change cell in Manipur, then again state climate change cell in Tripura, almost all the northeastern states, then climate change knowledge center and climate change water resources center in Arunachal Pradesh, and the monitoring the forest plots in the Mizoram. So, these northeastern projects are going on and even the Himalayan range presents. So, these are the climate change related program divisions and projects are running. So, with this kind of investment and this duration. So, climate action tracker also overall rating for India is highly insufficient, as it has been given that policies and action plan almost policies and actions almost sufficient, like India's current climate policies and actions are not yet consistent with Paris Agreement. Okay. So, these are the data that has been given, the how much it is produced, and as a 2022 renewable energy capacity target is 175 gigawatt. So, how to achieve it was just India was just as of the July it was just shy of near of 100 gigawatt with 98.9 gigawatt of new renewable energy capacity installed. That means, it is yet to achieve 75 gigawatt extra through different sources. Therefore, the National Electricity Plan in 2018 also is projected to add 45 gigawatt from the coal sector, So, in 2029-30 India's coal capacity will be increased, yes, but only about 50% of the planned coal capacities are installed. So, these are some of the policies and action plans for the energy sector. Expected is 175 gigawatt, and presently the status till 21 is 98.9, and moreover coal capacity is also going to increase. So, internationally supported targets critically insufficient. So, international supported targets also critically insufficient. India's first NDC has three main elements. Okay. So, what are the an emission intensity target 33 to 35% by 2030 below the 2005 levels, to increase the share of non-fossil based oil energy resources by 40%, and to create additional cumulative carbon sink at 2.5 to 3. CO2 through the additional forest and tree coverage by 2030. So, the India's 40% non-fossil capacity target has been conditional to the international support, needs substantial improvement. Of course, with the supply, this petroleum ministry's gas supply to every household in the rural areas had curbed, has met some of the requirement limits. Then fair share target, that is highly insufficient. India's climate policies and commitments are not consistent with any interpretation of a fair share contribution and leading towards the rising rather than falling. Net zero target, no target. India does not have a net zero target. India does not have any net zero target or no target. So, that means that India does not have this kind of net zero target, zero carbon emission target. India does not have that. So, these are the shortcomings in our action plan. So, how the India's overall rating is highly insufficient. The climate change actions as per the Paris Agreement is highly insufficient based on the modeling of the domestic pathways. As you can see, the land use and the forests, then the policies, actions, all kinds of these graphically international supported targets, how it falls below this. Okay. Similarly, almost insufficient in the policy and action implementation, and highly insufficient, then critically insufficient, and again insufficient, then almost sufficient. This point, this range is almost sufficient as per the thing, it meets as per the agreement, but above this limit highly insufficient and critically insufficient, as you can see from the graphs, this graphical representation. Now, we will come to the pedagogy, now we will come to the ESD. Now, how ESD can help us in enhancing the education, information, dissemination, and how it can be blended in our curriculum and the pedagogical frameworks. So what ESD can do in this SDGs achievement, that is affordable and clean energy, sustainable energy. So, the pedagogical framework for sustainable energy, let us discuss, or this is the current status that we have already discussed, renewable energy as an independent discipline for the undergraduate degree courses. So, in the academic stream, how it can be incorporated, renewable energy. I think in IIT Kharagpur also we have the energy and a center for energy, clean and energy, sustainable energy center is there, and especially almost all the technical, mostly in the IITs and NITs, this energy as a discipline has been already been introduced, and research and developments are going on. So, renewable energy as an independent discipline for the undergraduate students should be included is running in a few technical institutes. This is the status quo. Okay. In the few technical institutes in India, it is an interdisciplinary field, and therefore, it is taught as a preliminary at the preliminary level in many UG, PG courses and the PhD courses, but no IITs or NITs offer specialized program on renewable energy technology. Even though we have started, but that means more, you can say more specialized kind of energy source exclusively on solar or hydro, or that means more higher level of research and education are not being provided till date, because of the limitations of experts and resources. Gradually we are picking up, it has been introduced, but UG, PG, PhD level, but we have not been specialized too much in this field. And policy 1, that is the general policy 1, has said that in general awareness at the time of such a crisis, it becomes necessary to target not only to educate few, but also spread the awareness among our stakeholders, to teach them, to educate them, to train them how to conserve the energy, how to save energies. These kind of education information should be disseminated among our stakeholders through rigorous and repeated workshops, trainings, and through all kinds of media channels also. So, that is also a part of ESD that can contribute. So, that can contribute towards the citizens awareness regarding the power saving or energy saving. Then policy 2, education policy should be evident from the data that there is a serious lack of renewable energy courses. So, serious lack of energy courses at the technical level. There can be two approaches to increase this and involve the students. First thing is that with the increase in the job opportunities in the energy sector, then we can encourage our students to go for the specialized research in this sector, and through the understanding that the learning about sustainable growth is as necessary as the learning as language or any other compulsory subject for all. So, that means we have to create an awareness among the youth, among the students, among the stakeholders, that like any other discipline, like any other language or any other technical subject, energy sector, energy domain, energy discipline is as important as any other language, because it is related to the sustainable growth and sustainable development. So, sustainable growth and sustainable development, and because of this focus, SDGs and focus. So, energy sector, energy discipline, energy education should be overemphasized, should be given the focus, so that more and more more stakeholders, more learners, more students, more youth will be keen to learn this subject, and for them the job opportunities should also be created. So, this is the current status of affordable and clean energy right now. So, only few IITs offer this PG program related to renewable energy, like IIT Delhi, Kanpur, Kharagpur, etc., Bombay, etc. IIT Kharagpur offers the dual degree in electrical engineering with specialization power engineering system. 4 NITs have an independent department or research center on energy studies. Indian government has taken multiple initiatives to enhance the teaching learning through online, open web courses, or medium MOOC courses, Swayam portal, virtual labs, and even open source simulation tools, etc. So, textbook companion projects like C labs codes are also mathematical, having the mathematical problems. It also these are also being used in the research labs. Online video lectures database are also there through NPTEL programs, online thesis management systems. So, now these are being updated gradually, these are being given more importance. It has been updated gradually, slowly, and it has been emphasized, overemphasized from time to time, but we need to spread it as soon as possible among all the technical institutes across the country. So, then the policy one, let us focus on the policy one, that is general awareness. At the time of such crisis, it becomes very important, very necessary to target not only on the educated mass, but also among the rural and lower rural areas, the urban slums, and create a kind of awareness, spread the awareness, teach and train the people regarding every aspects of energy sector. So, and how to save energy, and how to encourage them, and even for the encourage the small time or the small to medium entrepreneurs by by providing them the seed money for the loans, as the loans, so that they can install the rural rural or the village in the small grids, solar grids, grid forms in the rural sector, in the semi-urban sector. So, here we can see the step one will be reaching out towards the people, reaching out to the media, through that the social media, advertisements, traditional media of television and radio, etc., are the possible way to reach to the people, to reach out to the general public. So, both the literate as well as semi-literate and the illiterate, and both urban, semi-urban and rural people. That is the first step to reach out to the media and to spread the information, then to create the awareness. Then step 2 will be spreading the news representative, like the trained representatives of the journalists, trained representatives can also reach out to teach the the illiterate people about this energy, sustainable, what is sustainable lifestyle, sustainable consumption, saving energy, how energy is important for all our activities, technical, how it is important for our industrial growth, economic growth. Even for the farmers will be introduced to all kinds of latest technology, for the farming, for organic farming, for for enhancing the agricultural products. So, how energy is very much required, what are the alternative energy sources available, how can we use that means affordable some tools, some equipment, some machineries to create energy and to save energy. Okay, so farmers, rural farmers, agriculture farmers, literates or illiterates, rural people, semi-urban people, even the urban slum people, they will be educated from time to time through trained representative, like the like the trained personnel, media personnel, journalist, even from the ministries, field workers, different field worker, then the persons that will field assistants doing the survey, or researchers who are engaged in the action research. Then from there, yes, government's initiative should also be there. So, government's initiative up to this, then the government's initiative, that with the third step, that is the government, what incentives the government, benefits, subsidies for the energy wise, self-sufficient farmers, agricultural farmers, small time businessmen, business owners, shopkeepers, wholesalers, then a small made entrepreneurs, startup entrepreneurs, etc. So, and to educate them, to teach them, to facilitate them, to guide them regarding how to the different ways, how this saving energy and sustainable consumption of energy, how can can help us in achieving the sustainable development in other sectors, 17 sustainable development in our country. So, to promote this way of sustainability way of thinking, paradigm, then way of lifestyle, consumption, production, it definitely requires a lot of time, investment and efforts to bring them to this mainstream, sustainability mainstream. But however, it is a continuous work, it is a rigorous work, it is the rigorous effort. So, and all the stakeholders should, it is not just only the job of NGOs or the government or educational institution, but it is the job of every stakeholder, every citizen. So, government should initiate, take some incentive, give some incentive, some initiate some action plans to mobilize these kind of resources for education, training, information, etc. Then thereafter, then some of the role models from their role models can also act like monetary, international monetary fund, monetary recognition based awards, rewards like president's awards, different kinds of citizenship awards. These kind of things can be introduced as the incentive to promote the sustainability aspect even among the small business houses, and even like for example, the corporate sector also, MNCs, corporates, organizations. So in their they are in their CSR investment also, they are also getting the rewards, and similarly citizenship rewards for the promoting literacy, from social service, from sustainability, from all kinds of social activities and promoting socio-economic activities. So so this kind of monetary and recognition awards, incentives, scholarships, okay, so these kind of things can be introduced so that the people, the general people, public can follow a kind of role model to follow, to that means to adopt their lifestyle there, and to follow their path of advice and work aspects. So this can be yes, this can be planned. So these things, these policies can be put into the framework, into the pedagogical framework, that is from up to this, we can say from this to that, from step 1 to step 2. From there we have to link to the step 3, and then from the step 4. So these are yet to be done. These two things are yet to be done, even though government is doing on its own, but all this should be properly integrated. All this should be properly integrated, collaborated and monitored from time to time, so that the feedback mechanism, it can be sustained, it can be enhanced. So with this I am closing this session. The next class will continue with other issues of this ESD. Thank you very much.